If you've ever wondered whether Kennedy Space Center is still worth visiting, especially now that the Space Shuttle program has ended, after a recent trip, I walked away convinced that it absolutely is. In this video, I want to share 3 specific things that stood out to me and made the entire visit worthwhile. The first place that really hits you is the rocket garden. Standing there surrounded by full-scale launch vehicles, you immediately grasp something you can't get from photos or from screens. That is the scale of these vehicles. These rockets aren't concept art or models. These are real machines that once thundered off this coast, carrying human beings into space using technology that now feels almost impossibly analog. So they are towering reminders of a time when exploration meant taking enormous risks with slide rules, courage, and just raw engineering ingenuity. The second thing that really stood out to me, in the heart of the visit really for me, was the Atlantis exhibit. Walking in, you don't just see the shuttle, you really encounter it. Atlantis is hung as if still in orbit. Cargo bay doors open, scorched tiles still visible, every scratched earned through repeated trips beyond Earth's atmosphere and back. This isn't a prototype or a replica. This is the spacecraft that flew 33 missions. It helped build the International Space Station. It carried astronauts who lived and worked in microgravity for weeks at a time. And it came home again and again literally through fire. And what struck me most wasn't just the technology, though it is staggering, but the era it represents. The shuttle program was ambitious in a very human way. It promised routine access to space, reusable vehicles, and a bridge between experimental exploration and a sustainable presence beyond Earth. And while the program ended with both triumph and tragedy, standing beneath this Atlantis exhibit, it feels like standing under a chapter in history that was expansive and dangerous and perfect, and it was absolutely worth attempting. You leave that space with a renewed respect for what humans are capable of when vision outweighs fear. The third thing that really stood out to me and made it worth it was the Astronaut Memorial. It's simple, it's quiet, but it's profoundly sobering. Etched into black granite are the names of astronauts who died in service, not only during missions, but during training and testing. It's a reminder that exploration always carries a cost, and that progress was paid for not just in funding or fuel, but in actual human lives. This memorial doesn't glorify tragedy, it honors their commitment. It honors their willingness to step forward knowing the risks for the sake of expanding human knowledge and reach. It's a necessary place to stop and reflect before you leave the park. So those are my big 3, the rocket garden, the Space Shuttle Atlantis exhibit, and the Astronaut Memorial. Each one in its own way, it kind of connects you to the scale, ambition, and sacrifice behind America's space program. But together they made this visit really worthwhile, not just as entertainment, but as perspective. So if this video was helpful or insightful in any way, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like the video, subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.